Give yourself one last cheer. Before I introduce our next speaker here, I have a faith leader for you named Heather McDuffee, a pillar of our community, and I am honored to be able to hand the mic over to her now.
Hello, beloveds.
Hello.
I am going to challenge us in the next few minutes to not give our attention to the ones who are trying to distract us. They are trying, this is the point. Okay, do not pay attention to the ones who want to distract us. Do you understand? My name is Heather McDuffie. I am a mom of 2 teenage girls. Pray for me, oh. I am a big old dyke. I am a dedicated wife, and I get to be a wife. Okay? I am a Christian minister in the United Church of Christ, a pastor at Community Congregational Church in Manitou Springs. And today, I asked the organizers of this protest, what do you want us to focus on today? Because, babies, there is so much. There is too much. But the whack-a-mole of challenges right now is on purpose. The point is to distract and divide and bamboozle and gaslight us into a state of overwhelm so that we give up. Our outrage today is a joke to them. But it is not a joke. We can all know this cognitively, and still we feel crazy and angered and despairing on a daily basis. And sweethearts, that's all normal. But instead of being emotionally manipulated, I think it is time to get clear and focused. This moment begs a return to the heart of the values that are under relentless attack. Why? Why are we here? Why does all of this matter? What is at the center of our pain? It takes commitment, and it is time to commit to our inner work as well as our outer work. It is a delicate balance, my friends, to call out evil for what it is, speaking truth to power, and do so without mirroring the very things that we hate. The very things that we hate, falling into that trap of othering the other. The pull towards us versus them is strong, and yet it's another distraction to doing that deeper inner work. That work that we are somehow all entwined with what we name. We are part of the system. We are part of the problem. So I will tell you that this inner work that we commit to, it will cost us big time. Like if anything good were to come out of this administration, we would miss it. We would miss it. We have to remind ourselves that every policy has both good and bad consequences. Like when tyrants rule, citizens become more engaged in democracy. Will we be gathered like this if Kamala was our president? No! We would just be sitting back, patting ourselves on the back, saying, good little American. But guess what? We are engaged now. I also wonder, sweethearts, if tariffs will halt our addiction to fast consumerism. Our consumerism is bad for the planet. It is bad for our global siblings who make less than $1 a day, all because we want cheap shit. We want cheap stuff. All right, so if fast consumerism is bad for our planet and bad for our human family, we can assume that it is making us spiritually sick, okay? So I am committed today to curiosity and saying, what's going on here? All right, what part of this is mine? Because I don't want to miss anything good, especially if it comes at the expense of fragile egos. I will make all of my confessions first, okay? Because I'm a follower of Jesus, and I am shamefully entwined with the damage that people have caused and continue to cause in the name of Christianity. All right? I am sickened by Christian nationalism. So if you are unfamiliar with that term, Christian nationalism claims that the United States was established by and for Christians. False. Okay? Bullshit is right. Christian nationalists have blended Christian identity and cultural conservatism as central to American civil life. And I will tell you what, that has nothing to do with my Jesus. Hands off my Jesus. Hands off my Jesus. Because the whole premise of Christian nationalism is wrong and misleading. In reality, Christian nationalism is a lightly, pretty veiled brand of white supremacy, y'all. Plain and simple. It does not reflect the gospel. It does not reflect Jesus' kingdom work. As a matter of fact, if God wanted political power, Jesus would have come as a baby born to Roman royalty, not a Palestinian Jew born to an unwed pregnant teenager. So here is my true north. We all gotta find our own. I will not let Christian nationalism claim Jesus as their own. He is not for sale. He will not be owned by them. They cannot have him. Because in reality, Jesus was a first century Palestinian, brown, queer minority who lived under foreign occupation. He imagined that something different could happen. And he talked about a kingdom that was mocking the one he lived in. In the Roman Empire, you see, money and power were lusted after. And in the kingdom of God, human dignity and worth were at the center of everything. Jesus' kingdom consisted of marginalized characters, people who were disabled and sick, sex workers, gender-bending eunuchs, foreigners, children possessed by demons, and yes, even the IRS was in there, Jewish authorities, and Roman soldiers. Jesus' crew was the OG DEI, babies. And Jesus' North Star was crystal clear. Love always. Bless those who persecute you. Forgive even the unforgivable. Do not pay evil with evil, but overcome evil with good. And so to those of you who consider yourselves Christian, we try to walk the way of Christ, emulating his life. Now I have a little story. My wife is a therapist here in Colorado Springs, and her group practice is committed to providing care to anyone who walks through those doors in need of therapy. They have a banner in the office that reads, "All are welcome here." And last week, a woman came into the office and she started yelling at the manager because she's a Christian and she felt unsafe by that banner, and it did not reflect her Christian values. And then, in the same week, I went with some friends over to Kuwati. You know Kuwati? And I went inside the bathroom stall where someone scratched on the door, "Trans women are women." Now, as a Christian faith leader, I would argue that the vandal was more Christ-like than the so-called Christian in this parable. And yet it will never make the news. As Gil Scott Heron wrote in 1970, the revolution will never be televised. And this is because the revolution is within you. The revolution is in what is within all of us, and is found in the smallest of actions that we make out of our core values. The commitment we make to do our inner work, that is the revolution. The embrace of our transgender children, that is the revolution. The education of our children about black and brown figures in American history, that is the revolution. The advocacy for abortion care and bodily autonomy, that is the revolution. Hold up, y'all are gonna get mad at me. The divestment from Amazon, social media, and entertainment news, that is the revolution. The car washes and the bake sales we do for nonprofits, that is the revolution. The communities of respect and care that we build in this Colorado Springs community, that is the revolution. And the joy, goddess, the joy that we find in the little things, that is the revolution. Beloveds, no one can take those things away from you. No one. They belong to you, they live inside of you. That is the truth. Do not let them take your revolution. We may not be able to control everything that's unfolding in this time, but we can choose our response. We can choose to respond with courageous love for our neighbors. We can refuse to cooperate with what harms us, and our responses can change our experiences of life, and they can change our whole world. So in the end, human relationships is all we have. We are all we have. So let us commit ourselves to the quiet work of justice and renewal, responding with human connection that does not wound others. Let us practice love that cradles both the beloved and the betrayer, steady enough to outlast this storm of violence, for love will always endure beyond the breaking. Be well.